Hello friends, hope you're having a good week. I changed my bed linen over to sort of brushed cotton. I think this grey set was in Primark years ago. If you're not from the UK, Primark is a good but very budget store. Or was it Wilko? I can't remember. But it's cozy anyway. So let's get on with the vlog. Hello friends, welcome to my new vlog. I hope you've had a good week. As you may know, if you're a fan of my channel, my Auntie Anne's been staying with me and we've had a lovely visit. I went to see Colchester Castle last week, and in this video I'll show you I made my first journey to see Frinton. Frinton is a seaside town that I've kind of always heard of, because when I was growing up in like sitcoms, they might mention that you might have a honeymoon in Frinton because you couldn't afford to go to Spain or abroad, and Frinton had the feeling of being a little bit like less good. Anyway, I went to Frinton and it was really lovely, as I will show you in my little film. It's been so nice to have my auntie staying with me and to be able to spend time with her properly. She's now gone back home, but it was so nice, and maybe it's her being here or the fact the weather's getting colder, but I've got more into sort of cozy crafts. I've got out my knitting again. It was also helped because I actually found a lot of my wool and needles and things. By the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kate Sanderson. I'm an actor and I've recently bought this house in Essex. Well, it's back in January, no, the end of January I moved in, and I've been trying to get this YouTube channel going. Part of my channel is talking about how I'm getting on with my house. So I got a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. And when I say I just found my knitting needles and wool and things, that's not an exaggeration. I just did find it all again. And you know, when it's cold, you feel more like knitting. I've been doing more of that. And yeah, my auntie made me some lovely meals. I bought in some nice meals for us. Like I got us a really lovely fish and chips one night, and we had pizza one night. And you know, I'm really trying to gain confidence in my cooking, but I think she did enjoy everything she had, and she made a lovely chicken and that was great. Cookie, my cat, if you're new here, also I have a lovely short hair pedigree cat called Cookie. He was diagnosed with diabetes about 6 weeks ago now, so we've been doing his insulin injections and it's really helped him. He's looking so much better, and he loved Auntie Anne being here too. Yeah, it's just been when Cookie was diagnosed with diabetes, it was a big shock for me. You know, it's if you've never given someone an injection before, it's quite shocking to have to learn, and twice a day he's really always going to have 2 injections a day unless he regulates his diabetes, but he's an old guy, so I think that's unlikely. Yeah, so that's kind of who I am and what I'm doing. I think now I will go and change my table, because I had up a pale purple kind of table cover for All Saints Day, and it's lasted well, but I think now I'm going to change it for something a bit more wintry. So that's next. Hello friends, well here we are in my dining room. This is my sort of Saints Day table. As I said, I'm going to change it to something more wintry now, so I will now clear the stuff away and come back to you when I've changed it over. Okay. Hello friends, well, forgive the washing machine, which is just in the dying throes of a last wash. I've just put on what looks a bit dull actually. It's just a dark blue-grey cloth, which to me seems kind of wintry. And if I go up here, I have this, I always put this out every November. Could be a Christmas thing, but to me it's a winter ornament. And it's just some deer in the woods. And I really like that. I think, I mean, I will add more to this table, but right now I want to show you something, so I'm keeping it a bit bare. But I think I will put on some incense. 1 second. Okay, we have a lovely twirl of smoke now. I love incense. I find that scent so beautiful. Even after the incense is burned out, that smell lingers in the room and it's so nice and reassuring. Anyway, here's what I wanted to show you. And it is a set for a vision board. I will tell you, I actually bought this a couple of years ago for my birthday, but I was selling my house, and as far as I understand it, a vision board is something you put up to try and affirm your goals or get clear in your mind what you want to have in your life, and that's what it's for. So I bought this on Amazon, but I think actually you can make a vision board out of literally just a piece of paper, a card, anything. But I saw this on Amazon and I thought maybe it would be better. I think, let me turn around. Hello again, friends. Well, what I wanted to say was, I understand that some Christian people really do not like vision boards because I presume they feel you should simply pray to God for what you want and trust that God knows what you need, and that it's sort of wrong to put yourself in the middle as the person who manifests what you want. I think I'm using my vision board more to sort of just get clear about what I want to have, because I sometimes get very tired and I can't keep in my head exactly what I want. In fact, I think I need to do a whole goal setting session. But I'm hoping, and I've not even looked inside the box yet, that this vision board will just give me an easy way of putting up a sense of what things I want and making it very clear. Yes, as I said, I actually bought this a few years ago, but I was selling my house and I felt it was a rather personal item to put out when people were going to be coming around my house, so I've never used it until now. So let's look inside the box. So Vision Cloud, a complete vision board kit to help make your dreams a reality. Okay, open it up. Okay. A flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it, it just blooms. Okay, that's lovely. Okay. Right. I guess that's an example of the kind of quote you can put up to inspire yourself. Okay. This is a card thanking you for choosing the Vision Cloud. And they want feedback. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It was a couple of years ago anyway, so I don't even know if they still make these. Right. So, okay. Oh, wow. So, I'm guessing you can actually sort of put this upright. You can stand it up on your desk. Okay, that's good. I'm kind of wondering how these things that they've given you, which are all here, how you sort of stick them onto the board. Because I wondered if it was kind of like a fuzzy thing that you could Velcro things onto. I'll take out the things and come back to you. Okay. Hello again, friends. Well, I now have sort of had a look through some of the items in the box. They give you a lot of stuff. First of all, I think I have they've put in some strips of blue tack to attach your cards. There are cards here to your vision board, which is great. And they also have some Velcro, which I think you can use to stick things on. And then they've given you these 2 worksheets. Maybe I already said that. Activity 1 helps you understand where you currently are in life. And activity 2 helps you to have a clearer understanding of where you want to be in the future. So that's really empowering. I don't know if I should fill all this out on camera because I feel it is a bit personal, but I'm going to show you some of the cards and things, and I will put up some of them, you know. Indeed, I feel these 2 sheets are a rather big task, so I think you don't have time to listen to all this, but here we go. Basically, you got two bundles of cards, and I've taken away the ones that I'm kind of interested in, and then you have a little set here of sort of more like sayings, questions, affirmations. What I would say, because I have done quite a lot of sort of self-help book reading and stuff, I would say some of these cards are actually very, very negative. And I would never put them up. And indeed, I don't believe them. Like it says, all relationships go through hell. Real relationships get through it. Oh, get through it. Oh, I think it's meant to be through, but it's actually through. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I regard relationships as not just being romantic relationships, which of course always have some stormy times. That's just the nature of passion. When you say all relationships, to me that means like your relationship with your siblings, your friends, employer, teacher, whatever. You're kind of affirming that you're going to go through hell with them. Probably they just mean romantic relationships, but they don't make that clear. So I would never put this up. I would kind of follow Louise Hay and say all my relationships are fulfilling and positive and happy, or something like that. But here are some I liked. Here we are. Love what you do and do what you love. Okay, here's good. My life is full of prosperity and abundance. I love this one. This is good. Oh, I need to do some nail varnish. Okay, that's not a positive affirmation. Okay, there you go. Right, let's see. Homemaking is about making a home, not about making perfection. That's true, and my house is far from perfect, but oh gosh, stop beeping. Okay, my house is far from perfect, but I am increasingly loving it, so that's a good thing to remember. Okay, this is a good quote. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you decide to enjoy your life, by Joyce Meyer. Okay, and these are like questions. These are good questions. What will you have to do, or kind of, there's another one about what you give up. What will you have to give up to get what you want? And that's really good. My grandpa would have liked that. He'd have said, everything in life has a price. Is the price too high for you to pay? You know, if you want to learn an instrument, or you want to achieve a career goal or something, what do you have to do? And are you prepared to do it? Because if you won't do it, then don't waste your time thinking about it. Okay, and now I'll make a little space and I'll show you some of the pictures I like the look of. So going through the cards, I found I really like this one of the sunny open vista. I suppose it's like a holiday, or, you know, a free vision of the future. I like that one. Here's definitely one about travel. Oh, I love to go abroad and feel the sun on me, although I couldn't live in a hot country. I love that. So yes, a nice holiday with a beautiful beach. I would like that. I would put that in my vision board. Okay. Oh yeah, and I've always wanted to visit Amsterdam and see the tulips. And I love windmills. You know, obviously we have windmills in the UK and they're always lovely. Remember Jonathan Creek lived in a windmill on that TV show? That was cool. So I would love to go to Amsterdam. That's something I would love to do next year. Then I really like this picture of the healthy plate, because I do want to lose some weight and eat more healthily, though I'm not bad. You know, I do have a lot of vegetables and things, but that appealed to me. I like that one. Here is a cherry blossom. Now, if you're a fan of my channel, you'll know I would really love to go to Japan. That's something I would love. And you know, they have a cherry blossom there, and it's just a very famous thing. I think it's very expensive to go to Japan during cherry blossom season. So it doesn't have to be during cherry blossom season. I'm happy to see Japan at any time, but I think this would remind me of my goal that I want to go to Japan. So that's good. Okay, we have another healthy eating and kind of like a lifestyle-y picture. Like I would be lovely to have, wouldn't it be nice to have your life looking sort of Instagrammable a bit? If it was true and you weren't just faking it up all the time, that would be lovely. Okay, I've got that one. And then, oh, look, I love hot air balloons. I just think that looks wonderful. Oh, maybe one day I could go in a hot air balloon this year. That's something I could try and work for. Or just go and see a hot air ballooning kind of rally or meeting or whatever they call it. That would be amazing. Take some photographs. Okay, so that was in one pile. Like a lot of them, you'll see, all these cards I really didn't like particularly. So that's interesting. Yeah. So here's the second pile. We've got one of sort of beautiful sort of stars in the night sky. I would love to see. I love stars. I love starry things. Then I like this one. Not only is it a lovely beach, but there are the footprints, and it reminded me of that story of biblical footprints, that there seem to be two sets of footprints, then there's only one, and the person feels that God has forsaken them because before this God was walking beside them, and then God says, no, I was actually carrying you in my arms. So there's only my footprints here. Yours are not there. That's why. So I like that because it reminded me of that. Yeah, we're in God's hands. And then here's one I liked. It's, you know, just encouraging me to do more hobbies and painting and creativity. That's good. I'm sorry, this is taking a long time, guys. I'm sorry. There's one of makeup. I do love doing makeup. I did a course at the Delamar Academy and I enjoy makeup, but I've kind of got stuck into the same makeup just because of time and quickness. Maybe I need to experiment more with makeup again. Now here's one of what looks like either, is it like California maybe. It looks like someone's going camping and Death Valley maybe, or is it Utah? Somewhere like that. I would love to go back to the States. That would be great. Here's one of a tidy desk. I like that. My desk is very messy, so I would love to have my desk looking really cute. I liked this one of the sprinkler coming down on the vegetables that are growing. I'm hoping my garden improves this year. That would be lovely. So I like that one. And then we've one of lovely teacups and apples. So someone's sitting outside in their garden. They're having a bit of apple, maybe some lovely tea. That's very aspirational. I like that. And I like this one because it's showing someone about to go I guess a yoga Pilates class or to go on a walk. And I really want to get fitter this year. So that I like that one. I will be putting that one up. We have another sort of tidying up desk one. And then here's one of a very kind of zen, peaceful house. I need to do up my middle room. And I'm hoping it will be very peaceful, though it's looking dreadful at the moment. So that one I will probably put up. And there's too many to go on the board, really. I have to pick some. And here's one. It says, home is where... What does it say? Home is where the story begins, I guess. Sorry. Yeah. That's a nice saying, but I guess the picture isn't really so necessary. But maybe if someone was trying to magnetize a home, this would be a good one for them. Okay, I think I might put that one back because, yeah, I don't need that one. Maybe I'll take this one instead. Here's someone, yeah, going on another holiday. That looks great. Okay, so, as I said, I've got too many here to go up on that vision board, and I do feel probably you can find more specific images to put up. Like there's nothing here about the theatre or about filmmaking, which obviously is my career and what I would like to take off in this year. And I'd like to manifest for Cookie to be very healthy and me to be healthy. So I really need to choose a few of these, put them up, and then I'll do that, and I'll show you how it looks. But I realize that you need more specialized things than this really for your own goals. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, right. Hi guys, well I think I've put together my vision board for the time being. And it's interesting, I've chosen a mixture of things about healthy eating, about being organized, exercising. I put on a lot about travel and here's one about the makeup and the hobbies. And also here's one which to me represents like religion and also sort of mystery and spirituality. And I've pulled an angel card and it says, overcoming difficulties, the worst is behind you. So Archangel Jeremiah, that's lovely. And I've pulled a Bible quote and it says, oh rats, okay. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and interesting things you do not know, Jeremiah. So I thought that went with the kind of mystical starry picture. Sorry, my filming's not good. Briefly, I'll just add in also that you have a very useful monthly vision goal board here to fill out. And also you have sort of checks that you can write to your future self of things you will get. Yes, you have checks to write to your future self. And then also they've given you a number of stickers. I guess you can put these in different places just to remind yourself of your goals. So yeah, these are... I think this is a pretty good set. I must say, of course, I've not tried to work with it yet, but I think having the monthly goals is good. I think these two activities are very good, and I will put up this vision board now. So I'm pleased with this, and I will let you know maybe in the next month or so how it's going. Okay, right, I'm going to have a snack, I think. I'm tired. Cookie, are you sad Auntie Anne's gone? I think you are actually. I think you're sad, but okay, he loves Auntie Anne. He's gonna miss her. He's a little bit bitey. Okay, I discovered there was a branch of Cook in Frinton, and Cook's a great shop. If you're not from the UK, they make wonderful meals that you can buy to take away. So yeah, there's a Cook receipt beside Cookie. That's what reminded me. Cook, Cookie. Okay, right. Well, friends, that is a November Sunday. It's been raining. I've had to repressurise the boiler this morning, but it's gone. The heating's back on again now, thank goodness. I'm a little bit sad because my auntie has now on her way back to the States, and she's been here for 2 weeks, and it's been so nice to see her. But I guess she'll come back soon. Okay. What do you think, Mr. Owl? I really like this owl. He's very wise. He's really... This whole display, although to begin with I thought it was a bit bright and maybe it is a bit too much, it has been very cheerful over the winter. I guess next week, when December comes, I'm really going to have to change this up. But maybe in January I'll put some of it back because it really is quite cheerful looking, and yeah, well, we'll see. I guess, you know, the world's my lobster. Got the light on now, that's a bit better. My plants are still doing well in this this place, and I've really been enjoying my angels and my peace sign. That's been lovely. Just after Halloween, I was given a Halloween gift bag by a really lovely lady. It was a slightly strange situation, but I won't go into it anyway. Part of what I got was this succulent of a little dog with a Halloween pumpkin. I think it's from Marks and Spencer. It was so kind of her. And I guess, you know, Halloween's done now, but I think a little corner of this shelf is going to be Halloween all year round because I don't have another succulent holder. Maybe I'll find a succulent holder. Well, maybe I could just turn it around, I suppose, and see what the other side's like. There you can see the doggy's tail. You know, I think it's nicer just to have him facing the front. I'm going to put it back round. Okay. Yes. Maybe this year I can get more done with my garden and get more plants. But, yeah, I'm liking my angels. Ooh, that bit of the opposite wall could do with a paint. Okay, sufficient onto the day. Let's get on. So another thing I've been doing this week is, with my auntie being here, I've someone who watches a lot of DVDs, as you may know, and I also love to watch YouTube. My auntie loves to watch more like BBC TV series, so we've been watching more television series again, and you know, it's ridiculous. I don't know why I haven't watched more TV for a long time. Maybe I'm a bit hurt that, you know, these TV companies never want to put me in anything, because I'm an actor, but I'm mostly in films. Anyway, that's very silly. This week with my auntie, I watched a new series called Riot Women, and it was fantastic. I think we actually binge watched it in one day. It was rather miserable outside, and we just sat and had snacks and drinks, and we watched the whole series. It's a bit horrifying in a way when you think about, like, Riot Women was probably developed over several years and written, and then maybe 6 or 7 months to film it, and then we just watched it all in one day. But it's brilliant. Amazing acting, wonderful roles for the female cast. They were all fantastic and very, very interesting characters. It's all kind of, I would say that it's about a group of middle-aged ladies, mostly, who are starting to feel irrelevant, that they don't matter. Their husbands may have left them, their children take them for granted, whatever. And they develop the idea of putting together a rock band. And, you know, some of them are very talented and some of them they're just learning, but they learn enough to do pretty good. Then they get this wonderful singer who joins them. And it's a really fantastic story. And I really hope they make a second series of Riot Women, because although it has some funny parts, it's mainly a drama, but very uplifting. And there's some really good plot points they can explore more. So I'm hoping they do another series of Riot Women. It was brilliant. Also, we watched the series McMafia, which I think is quite an old series now, but my goodness, it was superb. It's all about these different organized crime families in Russia, in Israel, in London, and it all sort of twines together, and also in Brazil, yes, and all twines together. And again, just superb drama. I unfortunately think that they didn't make a second series of McMafia. It looks like a very big budget production. Apparently twice they were on the point of getting greenlit for the second series, then it just didn't happen, which is a real shame because it was wonderful. Fantastic acting and everything top class. So I loved McMafia, and if you want a really good series to look at that's quite thrilling and very interesting, I recommend McMafia. I've also recently, you know how the weather's got more miserable? I've recently watched Twister on DVD with Helen Hunt. I loved Twister. It was great. I think because it's about extreme weather, I was trying to feel better about our weather, which has been a bit stormy, well, what do you expect in November, you know? Yeah, Twister is a fantastic movie, really worth a look. It's very full of suspense and quite horrifying at the effects that tornadoes go to, and the heroic efforts of the meteorologists to try and understand how the tornadoes operate and what's going on. Fantastic. Tonight, I'm intending to watch the sequel, Twisters, plural. My auntie told me she didn't feel this could be as good as the original, and you know, it probably wouldn't, but I'm a very thorough person. I like to see what the sequels are, so I will watch Twisters, and tomorrow I shall tell you what it was like. Well, hello friends. I've been getting back into my knitting as it's got cold, and I've started knitting a Halloween decoration bag, something to store a Halloween decoration in, inspired by Pugsley from the Addams Family. So this was, I thought, black and kind of grey. It's also a little bit Tim Burton-y, but I've since discovered it's actually a very dark navy. You can't really see it. So anyway, I hope Pugsley isn't offended. I was trying to make a Pugsley bag, and it's actually navy blue. So there you go. I am enjoying my knitting though. As the weather gets colder, it's really nice to knit. And later in the video, I'll show you some of the other things I've been knitting. Okay, friends. Well, I think now I will put in my bit of footage about Frinton, and I really hope you enjoy it. I totally recommend a visit to Frinton. Their main street is called Connaught Avenue, and it has a lot of super shops and some charity shops, which are something I really like. I did buy a print, but it's being framed. It was a bit naughty of me to buy a print because really I have so many things I need to hang, but I will hang them. It's another of the many, many jobs I need to do in this house. And when I collect my print, I will show you what it looks like, but that's in another vlog. So here we go. Here's my film about Frinton. Welcome to Frinton-on-Sea and Winston Churchill, and a train just coming in. The Frinton Heritage Trail. I bet here's lovely in summer. My goodness. Some rather venerable people there. Okay, I've just got to explore all these eventually, but today it's a bit cold. Anyway, welcome to Frinton. Here we have a little sort of urban garden area just near the Frinton seafront, and it's just really charming with that expanse of sky behind it. I've got to come back to Frinton. So it is actually a memorial garden. It wasn't just a poppy up because it's that time of year. The memorial garden is dedicated to Field Marshal the Viscount Byng of Vimy and all who sacrificed their lives during the First World War. Well, that's lovely. Let's see. This garden, also known as the Gun Garden. I didn't see a gun here. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, it was removed in 1940. That's why we can't see it. Cool. Okay, here's the other way. I love this little garden. It's so charming. Okay, right, enough. Gotta move on. Lunch at Fifi's in Frinton. Very nice. So I'm not on the beach, obviously, at Frinton, but I'm on this sort of green park area above the beach. And it's an absolutely glorious day. And if I look over where the sun is high in the sky, it's really beautiful. I can only say that Frinton seems to be a charming place, and I do intend to come back here. It's lovely. Caxton's bookshop, really lovely. Really lovely. I really like these metal feathers above someone's garage. They're just sort of 1950s looking. You rarely see something like that. Anyway, apologies. There can never be enough red leaves. These just look stunning in the distance. Oh, wow. Okay. Hello friends, well I said I'd come back when I finished doing the table, and now my vision board has been cleared away. I put it up in my bedroom actually. I finished doing the table, and to complement the bluey grey, I've done sort of dark pink. I got quite a lot of flowers and lovely red grapes and tangerines. And let's go up here. I brought back my little owl. I think you're going to see the owl a lot until winter is over. And there we go. I've got another arrangement there, and my winter deer that I showed you earlier. Changed my my napkins, and I've also got a box of dates. I've decided that, I mean, for better or for worse, I think dates are a healthier snack than sugary things. So having said that, I do have a bit of pie for tonight left over from when my auntie was here. But anyway, that's my winter table for November. Well, for this week anyway. And then here, this runner, I'm sure I got this in Wilko, which British people will know Wilko, but to American people, it's just a department store that sadly closed down, but they had some really good, reasonably priced things. So I got that in Wilko a number of years ago. And yeah, there we go. That's the table finished. Right. Well, friends, I'll just take a second to show you some of my knitting I've been doing. Here we have a slightly scary looking Easter decoration of all things. This has been hanging around in my bathroom since I moved in, with a number of other things like my Disney figurine of Buzz Lightyear, which is very bizarre. Anyway, so I found some of my wool, as I said earlier, and I found, ta-da! I've made a little bag to keep this in with some leftover wool, and I even knitted an I-cord to pull it shut. So let me put it in. Yep, there we are. I'll just go in there. I like to have a nice place to put my ornaments. I'm crazy, I think. Here is my finished sort of Pugsley inspired bag, and that will have a Halloween decoration in it or some sort of figurine or something I want to keep safe. So that's good too. So I've enjoyed that. And then I've also kind of midway through making like another Halloween bag. It's not finished yet, but it will be another little drawstring bag for like something Halloweeny. And I'll just show you what I'm currently knitting is another I-cord just for the drawstring. So I'm not going to try and show you how to knit an I-cord because there are so many videos on YouTube of how to do an I-cord, and I've only just learned myself. But anyway, the cold weather is just making me feel like doing knitting and cozy crafts, and that's partly what I've been doing. So there you go. That's it. So I'm about to watch Twisters, the sequel, and got my candles on, and Ian Cookie's come to join me. So he wants to see Twisters as well, so go Twisters. Hi guys, well it's not tomorrow, it's still today, but I just finished watching Twisters plural, and it was fantastic. Here's the box. I completely recommend this movie. It's not inferior to the first movie, it's just different, and it was really suspenseful and lots of twists and turns and things you're not expecting. Well, in the sense of the twisters and also in the sense of the plot. So no, it was great and I really enjoyed it. Everyone was good. I don't know. I mean, if you are feeling a bit depressed with the weather and you want to feel a bit better about it, then I recommend watching Twister and Twisters. They're very good movies. And I mean, obviously, I'm here in the UK. This kind of extreme weather that they're showing, this was, I think, meant to be in Oklahoma in America. They are sort of used to tornadoes and twisters, but it's a side of life that I really have never been around. I've occasionally been in a very strong wind where I thought I was going to be thrown off my feet in the UK, and occasionally we have storm warnings, but it really is kind of an education, and I think people that live in Oklahoma are very brave. And one of the main plots of the movie Twisters is that the main protagonist, this lady, she's played by Daisy Edgar-Jones, she works out a method by which you can subdue a twister, by using by putting water and chemicals at a certain point of the twister, you can make it stop, which would be life-changing. So I really hope that is true, that they've managed to do that, and that people don't suffer the sort of devastation that that the tornadoes definitely cause, such as they showed in the movie. So I really loved it, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that, really. Well, friends, if I don't come up with a better ending, then this will be my ending. Thank you so much for watching and joining me in my bedroom. Do you know, when I got this house, this room was kind of like, it had grey sparkly wallpaper and curtains, and you know, it just wasn't me at all. So it's been a big job decorating this room, but I'm happy with it for the time being. So that's great. I'm happy with my winter bed linen, and I hope you have a lovely week. And if you have any ideas for cozy crafts or hobbies, please put them in the comments below. And thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week.